Hello everybody, this is Howard the Teaserking with week 7 of the NFL. Had a huge freaking week last week. Went 9-0 on Sunday. Kansas City, the Rams, Pittsburgh, San Diego, and the Jacksonville under 47.5 were just gold. Also had the Baltimore, Tennessee under, the Houston, Buffalo under, and that was it. I stayed away from Minnesota. I had Seattle also small, but it was a huge week. That's what I had. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. I had like 5 very strong plays. 3 of them were locks, and I put them in multiple teasers. So when you buy from me and you see me playing the Rams and 2 teasers, and Kansas City and 2 teasers, and Pittsburgh and 2, that means I really love the game, because I'm so confident on the game, I'm putting them in a second teaser. I don't like to play too many more teasers with them. I feel 2's enough, and I'll just add the units. So that's why sometimes I look at the games and I go, okay, this one and this one are strong locks. And then I look to put them in a second teaser, and I go, wait a minute, let's just make the locks stronger. I've got the play. Right here, Pittsburgh, the Rams, that's the play. Lock it, let's pound it. And that's really what you're looking at. Once you get your teams, then that's how it becomes a bigger lock, is that I want to play it in multiple teasers, but I've got who I want to play them with. Now when I get teams 3 and 4 that I really like last week, San Diego getting points, Kansas City getting points, then it becomes Pitt the Rams really strong, and then here comes Pitt, let's play them with Kansas City, and we'll play the Rams with San Diego, and then you start breaking it out because the other games are so strong. And that's, so when you see that board, I didn't go crazy. There's a purpose of how much I like the games, and I put them in multiple teasers. And sometimes if I like a game, I do this more in college, but I can do it in pros. If I like, let's say, the Sunday night game. So let's look at the pros. There's the Sunday night game this week. What is it? Well, it was the Rams 49ers, but I think it changed. I don't remember what I don't know. I know we got Tennessee, San Diego from London, and I really hate those games because of the travel involved. Are you getting the real strong team? But I don't know who I don't have times on my sheet. But anyway, so let's say the Rams 49ers were the night game, and I had them with Carolina Philly. And so the Carolina Philly game loses, but I still like the Rams 49ers. Then I'll play it in another teaser. And that's sometimes why you'll see a second teaser, or just know if I like a game and the first part loses, I still like the second half of it. I play the games independently. I'm looking at, who do I like? Okay, yeah, I like Chicago. I like Green Bay. I like Philly. Then I start mixing and matching them in the teaser. So last week, I love the Rams. I love Pittsburgh getting points. I love San Diego getting points. So now it's, okay, here are the games I love. I love this one so much, it's a lock. Oh, I love this one a lot, it's a lock. And then I love this one, not going to lock it, but then I'll play it in two or three, 2 teasers, and just make it for more money. So that's the logic of teasers, once you get the game. So if the first game loses, I like the second game, play it in another teaser. And I give plenty of games, so it's not hard to find, well, he likes this one also. Okay, the first part lost, now we'll put the second part with another game. And it happens more in college, because if you lose, let's say there's a 3:30 game on and you lose it, but you like the night game, which I just gave in the video, Hawaii, Nevada over. Okay, so let's say you put it with somebody early and it loses. Now you've got it at night. You still like it. Then you can play it with one of my Sunday games. You go, oh, okay, now we still like Hawaii, Nevada, so let's play that over with somebody in the pros. Hopefully we win the early part of it and on Saturday, and then it's the closer. But it's a theory. If I really like it, I will play it in multiple teasers because I want to bet more on it. I really think the game's strong, and this is the part of the year where you know the teams now. I mean, you get what it is, right? Buffalo stinks. Tampa, who knows? Miami, I have no idea. But I do know New England's back with Brady. I know Kansas City with Mahomes. I know the Rams are solid. So you now have a better idea, like Kansas City. Now I know. Mahomes had played one game. I had no idea. Now I know what he is. I mean, they're going to score a lot. They're an over team. And then it's a matter of, can they win the game or like last week, they were a great dog. So New England's what they are. San Diego is what they are. Oakland looks terrible. Gruden, what a stupid hire that was. Washington, I have no idea. New Orleans looks solid. I mean, you can go down to Atlanta, and now they got the offense. They don't have the defense. And you just walk down. Pittsburgh looks good. Cincinnati's scoring more. Tennessee have the worst quarterback. Now, they don't have the worst quarterback in the league, but he's up there because he runs too much, and you can't. This is the NFL. You're there to throw to your receivers. You're not there to go back to pass and run for 5 yards, and that tells you it's a bad quarterback who goes back and runs. He should be able to get to the line of scrimmage, read the coverage, read his play, change his play to an open spot, and it all takes 3 seconds, a.k.a. Tom Brady, a.k.a. Joe Montana. All the great ones, they get to the line, they get rid of the ball in 2 seconds, they know exactly where to throw it. They don't hang around and then run it. I mean, very rarely. 9 out of 10, Brady, he knows and throws. So, and then he's had receivers out. Now Edelman's back, so they know what they're doing. When you lose all your receivers, the new guys don't know what to do. Can't read the defense, so that's what hurts them sometimes also. Anyway, let's get to a pick. Dallas and Washington. Washington laying 1.5, over under 41.5. Let's go head up. When the game's in Washington, and these are trends that I do for these interdivision games. So Dallas, Washington, Dallas, the Giants, Dallas, Philly, Philly, Washington, all Philly, the Giants. Because they play each other twice a year, you get a very good trend. Where the game is, who's the dog, everything comes crystal clear. Dallas, 5-0, 6-1 the last 7 in Washington. That means Dallas travels well. They don't necessarily win the game, but they play it close. You're not asking them to win the game. Washington's a 1.5 point favorite. So you're asking them to stay within a touchdown. Well, the last 5, they're good. They're 6-1 the last 7. So they play in Washington very well, and they get you the money. Let's go inside the numbers a little bit more. Dallas is a road dog this year's 2-1 against their 3-0. Washington, not much of a home favorite. Not enough information. So let's go to 17-18. So this is why, I don't have enough yet on this. And with the bye, so most of these teams have played 5 games. And you don't have enough information. Well, I wonder if they have played 6. Anyway, so let's look at 17-18. Washington is a home favorite. 3-2 is against 4-1. So they don't blow out at home. Dallas is a road dog. 2-2, 4-0 against. So the trend's leading a little bit to Dallas. But remember, with Elliott out and everything, they haven't been that good on the road. But now they're rolling. Now they blew the doors off of Jacksonville. Played the Lions really well. So Dallas, the receivers are getting more into sync, and that's what I'm watching too. If I go back to 16, Washington 6-5 is a home favorite, 9-2 against. And again, when I'm telling you these are teaser trends only. So Washington in a teaser at home doesn't cover 9-2. That's 82% if you go against them. Dallas 5-3 is a road dog if you play them or play against them. And let's go back to 15. Washington 7-7 is a home favorite, 12-2 against. So all the way back to 15 really helps us here, where we know, hey, Washington's a home favorite. They don't blow anybody out. Dallas now 12-4 is a road dog, 10-6 against. So Dallas is fine as a road dog. Let's go inside the numbers. When I look at Washington, all right, Alex Smith, average quarterback, doesn't, he's decent. That's about it. He's not really that good. Doesn't scare me. Dallas. So Washington scores 21 a game, gives up 15. But then in the New Orleans game, they gave up 50. So I don't know who Washington is right now. Here they look like an under team, right? They scored 21, they give up 15. That's an under team. Their offense doesn't do much. Their defense apparently is okay. They played Carolina close. Dallas scores 17 a game, but a lot of that was early on when they weren't scoring. The last few games, certainly against Jacksonville, they put up 40, and then they got some help on their defense. So their defense is playing well. Their defense only gives up 19 a game. So this is looking like you got a weak favorite in Washington, right? They're not that strong at home. In the series, Dallas is good in Washington. Washington only scores 21 a game, gives up 15, and Dallas scores 17, but notice they've been scoring more lately, so if you probably took the last 3 games, it's probably in the 20s, especially with the 40. But as you look at 6 games, you then see after 6 games that they, a 40-point score against Jacksonville doesn't move the needle as much as it is after 1 or 2 weeks. So when you look at 6 games, you get 40, you don't move it up too much. But if they keep putting up 30 points a game, that number will move into the mid-20s. And you keep that in mind. Oh, lately they've been playing much better. So therefore, it's getting, their offense is better. So you got to kind of watch it too. But I like their defense giving up 19. So there's 2 things at play here, the under and the dog, because you don't have a strong, if this is Kansas City or the Rams, you get scared of playing against them because you say, man, Kansas City could put up 50 points. I can't keep up. And that's why it's hard to go against Kansas City or the Rams. New Orleans puts up 34. So those are the teams you gotta watch out for. But in this case, Washington only gets 21 points a game. So are they really gonna? Is their defense that strong? And then Dallas's defense is very strong. So let's look at the quarterbacks. So when I look at the quarterbacks, let me look at, let's see who comes up first. Alex Smith, 68%, a lot of short passes. Goes for 255 yards a game. And he's got 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. And let's look at Dak Prescott. If I can find him. He throws for 81 yards, he's 61%. Throws for 200 yards a game, roughly 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. No, 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. But he's playing much better, and the key is he's got to Ezekiel Elliott. So even though he throws for 200 yards, they're picking up more when you look up top. Dallas is rushing for 135 a game. So you're getting that also. Where Washington with Adrian Peterson gets 137 a game. So they're getting good running, which is helping Dallas's and Washington's defense. The more you can run, the more you take time off the clock, you can rest your defense. So basically what this shows me is you can go under or you can take Dallas. I like Dallas getting the 7.5. I think they can win the game. Wouldn't be a stretch. They play well in Washington, and I definitely like the 7.5. You can go under 47.5. Probably good, but they scored 40 on Jacksonville with 2 turnovers last week, leading to easy points. So again, it's something that should stay under, but definitely I think you take the dog in this game. So I definitely like Dallas plus the 7.5 here. So I don't have a lock in the pros. I just don't. I'm not getting that strong dog like Dallas. I like, but I'm not going to lock them because I'm trying to figure out Washington and the Rams. They're laying 9.5, but it's that the spread. If the spread was 7, the Rams would be a lock against the 49ers. But at 9.5, and we got to cover 3.5, and look what happened last week. I just can't lock it. That's the problem, is the point spread. You get the right point spread, you get the right dog. That's what you're looking at. I give you. Let's see. Like New England, Chicago. Had Chicago been a 3-point favorite, we'd be locking New England. Even at that spread, New England -3, I still like New England. Because now I'm getting points with New England, and I can't see them losing to the Bears. I don't think the Bears. I don't know. Khalil Mack's okay, but what happened last week when Brock Osweiler lit him up, put up 31 on him? How good are the Bears? And that's what I'm talking about. Dallas in the beginning's not taking. You got to realize they don't do preseason anymore. So the first 2 to 3 weeks are meaningless because the teams haven't had the preseason. So now all of a sudden you're getting the preseason out of the way with the first, let's say, 2 weeks are really the preseason. Now the teams are playing the way they should. So now you understand, wait a minute, okay, how good are the Bears? We know about New England. How good's Washington? How good's Dallas? And you can see Dallas getting better after week 2. So they're playing. This is why I don't understand the preseason, why they should be playing. Their number 1 team should be playing half the game in week 3 and half the game in week 4, and then you don't lose the first 2 weeks because you're not ready. I mean, look at the Lions week 1. I mean, if they played the Jets now, I don't think it'd be the same game. But because you don't play them in preseason, you think they're going to turn on the switch. The Lions gave away 2 games that they probably would play now would win, the Jets and Frisco. So when they miss the playoffs by a game or 2, you can go back to the preseason where they don't play, and it takes them 2 weeks to get up to speed that they should be doing in the preseason. Even college, these teams will play like the high school team. That's preseason for them. So Alabama starts out playing, Holy Cross. They put up 70 on them. They play. They don't say, well, it's Holy Cross. We don't want anybody to get injured, so we're gonna forfeit the game so nobody gets injured against Holy Cross. I mean, that's how stupid the preseason is. It's football. Look at how many hamstring injuries you're getting and groin injuries and injuries where it's just conditioning because you haven't played the guys. So anyway, again, if you see a game in multiple teasers, it's because I like it a lot. If I do lose an early game, but I do like the late game, i.e. the Ram 49er, if I play them with an early game and the game loses, I still like it, I'll play it again in another teaser. So just expect that happens when I do that. Um, but that's what happened. So again, it was a very successful week last week. 9-0 on Sunday. Just a beautiful week. Everything was, and it was easy. San Diego was way up. Pittsburgh's winning, getting points. The Rams were up 20-3. Kansas City was a sweat in the first half and then easy in the second half. Boy, they are explosive as all hell. I mean, it's just, I think you can just play KC over the rest of the year. I don't know. Nobody's going to stop them. Anyway, let's go to the site. I don't think you need a PayPal account. Just use a credit debit card. It's all secure, and pay for it that way. Again, www.teaserking.com. Good luck, everybody. Have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to a big weekend. All right, take care.